me clearly. America is not a racist country.
We know police shootings are very prevalent in America. The police here shoots and killed more people than the Taliban. And they have no shame about this, y'all, just like they have no shame about putting innocent people in jail. Now, it's one thing to put a few in jail, it's another when you got a whole bunch of them in jail that's constantly getting exonerated. So let's get into this, y'all. So, the police department in every state that kills the most people, leading the pack, Newark, New Jersey. Newark, New Jersey. It's like the Wild Wild West up there for the cops. So it's become America's leader in fostering collaboration between police and community leaders with the goal of helping reduce police violence and build trust between community and cops. You know, I get sick of y'all saying that. How the hell do you trust police and community and that's going to come together when it has no record of coming together and being strong and united ever before? You know, if your intention was to be bonded with the community that you work in, you would have done it by now. Y'all not interested in doing it, but you're interested in saying it, but you don't want to do it. So this initiative comes partly in response to the fact that a dozen people were killed by Newark police officers between 2013 and 2022, nearly two-thirds of whom were Black. Half of those killed weren't armed, and one in every four were fleeing. You know, I just saw a Karen fight two cops in a video today. Okay. People called the police on her because she was having so many fights in her department, in her apartment. She was disturbing the peace. And when the cops tried to arrest her, she balled her fist up and was fighting both cops and was struggling and everything. But what do these folks try to come around us and say? Comply. It's all, I just find it funny. Them folks never comply, but they tell you to comply. See, that do as I say, not as I do, that stuff don't work, nor has it ever worked. That don't even work on children. It doesn't work. So if you're not going to set an example of showing us that you cooperate with the cops, but we're seeing fists flying when it comes time for them folks to get arrested, then don't come to us talking about complying and your own people don't do it. You can miss us all with that. So, anyway, Newark is not the only place police departments with disproportionate police killings. To determine the department that has killed the most people in each state 24/7, Wall Street, that what they did a review from a police violence map and research collaborative, and they collect data on police killings across the nation from three large crowded source databases. The data access was in February, exactly February 22nd, 2023, and included all police department killings from 2013 through 2022. Three of the cities on the list have killed more than 100 suspects between 2013 and 2022, led by Los Angeles Police Department. Okay, as we know, LAPD, and nobody should be surprised. They're probably one of the worst and corrupt police departments in the country. They killed 167 people. The next was Phoenix PD. They killed 142 people. And NYPD, we certainly can't forget them. They killed 102. New York and LA are the largest US cities by population, but Phoenix is the fifth most populous city. Still, its police officers have killed more suspects than the larger cities of Chicago and Houston, 142 compared to 92 and 97, respectively. Out of these cities, the NYPD disproportionately killed more black suspects than police in Los Angeles and Phoenix. According to the US Census Bureau, about 23% of New York residents are black, but two-thirds of the 102 people killed by NYPD were identified as black. An additional 57% did not have a firearm at the time they were killed. About 35% were fleeing. New York City has by far and away the largest police department in the United States. The proportion of black suspects killed was even higher in some cities. At least 3 out of 4 suspects killed by law enforcement, 8 of the 50 deadliest US police departments by state were black. Now, this should not be shocking. I did a story, this was probably 4 or 5 years ago. There was a report that came out that said some police departments killed nobody but black people. They didn't kill any Latinos, no white people, just exclusively black people. And it was several of them. So this should not be shocking to anybody. So, led by the police departments of St. Louis, Detroit, and Atlanta, where between 91 and 96% of the people killed by police officers in this 10-year period were black. We're not shocked. First of all, when your police department came out of slavery, that right there tells everybody who your intended target will always be. And it has never changed since chattel slavery. It has never, ever changed. So, at least 75% of the suspects killed by officers in 3 of the deadliest US police departments by state did not have a firearm. So, 75% of the people they gunned down, and they were black, didn't have any weapons, were not armed. So, police departments in Burlington, Vermont, Honolulu, and Connecticut State Police. In fact, 21 of these 50 police departments, at least half of the killed suspect had no firearm. But according to the police, they are so threatened. They are so threatened. They have no weapon, but they are so threatened. You got a nightstick, you got a taser and a gun, but you're so threatened by a person with no weapon. Unbelievable. So, as far as discipline is concerned, police in 27 out of 50 deadliest US police departments by state received no disciplinary action for their involvement in the killing of 661 people from 2013 to 2022. That's why they're never going to stop killing people. That's why they're never going to stop. There's no consequences, there's no accountability. We know these folks, they don't believe in that at all. So, in 10 states, at least 10 officers involved in these killings received some form of disciplinary action, led by Newark Police Department, where 36% of officers involved in the killing of these dozen suspects from 2013 to 2022 received some form of punishment. Well, here they think if a cop kills someone that's not a threat and unarmed, the worst thing they want to do to the cop is fire them. They don't want to give them jail time. They don't want to charge. In many cases, don't even want to put them on trial. finding a qualified, what they're talking about is, having some type of tool that constantly put these numbers together about police departments and shootings, because this is a special report that was done by 24/7 wallstreet.com, because ordinarily we don't see a lot of these reports that talk about the shootings in all 50 states. We rarely see this. And look, even the FBI say that when it comes down to police departments reporting their shootings, most of the states don't even report it to the FBI at all. It's not mandatory. So they don't even bother reporting it. We know these numbers. Whatever number they're giving us, we know it's way larger than what we're getting. There's no doubt about it, y'all. It is always larger than what they, because these people, they love playing around with numbers, so, certain people don't look so bad, but no matter what, you do look bad. You do look bad. So let's talk about some of the recent things. I did a video on a family that got pulled over, and it was really an unlawful stop. And the police drew guns on children in the car. You would think children would be the last ones they would need to draw a gun on. And you could see this child clearly had no weapon in their hand. But if one little thing was done wrong, they would never have hesitated to kill everybody that was in that car. And I've seen cops do that, where they'll be in an argument with the driver and then things go wrong and they end up killing everybody in the car. I've seen that a few years ago. They killed everybody over the argument because the cop was arguing with the driver. He killed everybody in the car and got away with it too. Got away with it. So policing is just so dirty and so corrupt in America. And then, if anything goes to court, the courts are so corrupt and so dirty. You just don't get a fair shake all around. And for them to admit 75% of the people they have killed weren't even armed, and chances are they probably were no threat. And they're still killing people that have mental issues. So, y'all gonna have to tell me what you think about this story. It really is outrageous, but we have heard these things so much over the years, you feel desensitized almost, but you really can't quite get all the way desensitized, because if you do, then you won't tell the stories. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.